bag like groceries. Competition shouldn't take shots, take notes, please. Reporting live from the winning side. Ready to try, keep a different vibe. Is you down the ride? Never try. You will never know. You ain't never tried. Work it out. Hit the gym. Hit the field. Hit the wind. Hey, yo, I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard on the job. You can see that. On my head is real good. We don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah. The beats, leave it in the street. Case on the news.
What I do? Lace up my shoes, chase W's. Great colored coops. Oh no, I can't be number 2. MVP the league most valuable. They sweet as apple juice. Talking trophies, I didn't grab the few. Can't match this attitude. I wear my heart on my sleeve, please. I move like the wind, can't catch this breeze.
We are just across the Allegheny River from downtown Pittsburgh at rain-soaked Heinz Field in the Steel City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go. At their own 30-yard
line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Check. Come on, run.
A first carry now for Nick Chubb. He takes this from the 30 to the 34. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Hey, alert! Hey, team 6.
Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. Room here to run. There he goes left side. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, his 11th touchdown of the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. They'll start the drive with Harris. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. On 2nd down, this is Harris. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Matthews. He sets to fire deep. Incomplete. Both players were there offensively and defensively, but it falls incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, You'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
59 mark, check.
They give the Chubb out of the gun. And now running right through it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down. They're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Give him 30 yards there.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player, but he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. And now off to the races down the right side. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb with his 2nd touchdown of this opening quarter. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Tight end right. 4 down.
To throw again, Matthews. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. The Browns drive about to get started. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Any weapons? Check 13. Check 13. Back. Hey, alert 33. Check. Lucky. General West. Pistol. Hey, wahoo!
From the 40 now on second down. Mayfield, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. On third down, it's Nick Chubb, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up fourth down. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? But it definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. So finally completes his first pass. Credit the defense, though. They've been showing him some different looks, keeping him off balance.
Yeah, I like the observation that you had there, because when you give him different looks and give any quarterback different looks, it takes just a little bit longer to process sometimes, and you don't throw the ball with the same confidence. You're not sure that that's where you should go with the football, and that's worked for the defense early in this game, and now he's got his first completion. Let's see if his confidence comes back, and he starts to get into a nice little groove.
Looking to throw. Matthews. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down.
53 to Mike. 53. Check 53. Let's go, tackle. Let's go.
Throwing on first down. Matthews. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
52, Mike, 52. Here we go. 5-2.
Back to the air on second down. Matthews. That one complete to his receiver, Jennings. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field, and now what he's trying to do.
A big seam, and he might go all the way. 20. And he cuts it, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there, with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. An update from Buffalo. The Bills have taken the early lead. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
And his first carry, he loses the football. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports.
180. And we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep it. Hey, Alpha.
They run again on first down, Chubb. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
From the 41, Mayfield. And he's got this one complete to Callaway. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on fourth down.
Watch 61. Match box right.
They'll run for it. Chubb. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. Now a first down carry for Harris. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
To throw on second down, Matthews. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
Well, sometimes those cliches really come true, don't they, when they talk about it takes all 11 to play good defense. We've seen that in this ball game. I think the secondary has to be singled out, though. They are in the presence of every receiver whenever the ball's thrown, and this one they help force another incompletion.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
All right, need you to check my eyes here. This entire unit defensively, I think, has looked really strong in the first half, especially in the secondary. They've been cohesive, fast to the football. We just saw another example arriving there to help knock that one away.
That would have been from way downtown. Pretty big roll of the dice, and he comes up a bit short.
Yeah, you knew when you saw the holder setting up on the other side of the 50 that this was going to be a long shot. But to me, there's really no loss here because you've shown confidence in him. Kicking it from a long distance, that'll pay dividends. And the miss, you can shake that one off. It wasn't likely to make it in the first place.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. And the line to gain here is the 37 on third down.
Point it right. Hey, I-7.
From the gun, Mayfield. And that is incomplete. They're in coverage to knock it away, Marquise Blair.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. A throw over the middle, taken in. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him. even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Back to throw. Matthews. He's going to launch this thing. Wait. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Stephon Diggs with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. Extra point hugged the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And with it, his guys take the lead here by a point. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Browns drive about to get started, and they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well, and maybe try and find one of those special plays for one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. An effective 7-yard 3rd down conversion. A 1st down carry for Smith.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3-and-out.
That's good for a Cleveland 1st down, an 11-yard pickup.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Real.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Mike is 59. Regular.
Now on 2nd and 13. Mayfield. Catch made by Slayton. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. So it's 1st and goal, and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. They'll run with Chubb, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the 1st half. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time. Nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this 1st half.
Hey, box truck.
Now Mayfield on 3rd and goal. Being chased out left toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the 1st half. From the right hash, and this one just a chipping. And his kick is right there. It's good. And with that, they'll take a 2-point lead here in quarter number 2. So a little late drama in the first half as that kick will give them the lead into intermission.
Isn't this fun the way that this is unfolding? You're exactly right. The late drama, 3 points go up on the board, and we go into the half with a new leader.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This will be fielded at the 8. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about...
And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. And even 70 yards on the pickup. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first-and-goal situation. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down. Second and goal from the 1. And no pitch there, and no chance either, as he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up an interesting third and goal. They'll try and run for it with Ford. What a stand so far defensively, and now that's going to bring up a 4th and goal. Defense didn't budge on third down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what, right?
Yeah.
It's an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
The Browns drive about to get started. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start. And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
On third down, Mayfield. He's got an open man. He completes it to Callaway. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big third down conversion with a gain of 28. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. They'll run it now with Smith. And he loses the football a second time. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you give a little extra attention to him. Get out to the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him. Find him.
Now they'll have it first and goal following that gain of 17. It's been a remarkable day at the office for him running the football. Those yards just continue to pile well past 100.
And how about more than double-digit carries in the second half alone? That's what you want as a runner because you've got to prove to your offensive line that you're going to be as tough as they are. They don't rotate in and out on every play. Running backs often do, so those who can stay out there with their offensive linemen, those are the guys they really value.
And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And the lead is up to 8. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
The Browns take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
To throw again on second down. Mayfield. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. Mayfield now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's first and 10. Mayfield hands to Chubb on the draw. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Some tough running, but it only gets him to the 45-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3. Third and short yardage. Mayfield. That's taken in by Callaway. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Mayfield now 5 straight completions here in this second half. First and 10. Chubb on first down. No room to roam as he struggles just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Looking to throw on second down. Mayfield. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
So even with the pass interference, it's a completed pass. They'll go ahead and just take the play instead.
How about the effort? Making the catch despite the pass interference. Nothing else to be gained on the play. No need to take the penalty. The play stands.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Tremont Smith his 9th touchdown of the season, as his guys have cut the lead down to 2. Well, a lot of things have to go right for an option pitch to be successful. Everything lined up there on the long run.
It does, because you have to make the proper read. It doesn't matter what guy you've decided is going to be read on the defensive front. You still have to execute it. If he comes to the quarterback, you saw there, pitch it out to the running back, and off he goes. A lot of teams don't like to run the option because they don't like having their quarterback hit.
And he'll get into the end zone as the two-point conversion is successful. Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Brings up 3rd and 3.
Here we go. Here we go. 6 yards. 52. Come on. Here we go. Here we go. Come on. No. Check that. Check that. We got Mike 52 right here. Mike 52. No gain on this defense. No gain. Mike 52. Push him back. Yeah. Mike 52. Off.
From the gun, Matthews. And a throw there going to be incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Was hoping to make a play there on the return with his speed. Instead, he makes a play for the other side.
Yeah, and how many times have we heard coaches say, sometimes it's not really about those X's and O's we draw up. It's about those Jimmies and Joes. And when you have a punt returner, he's one of those Jimmies and Joes, one of the best athletes. He's unable to make the play that they were seeking, though.
They begin with a run by Smith. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb with his 3rd touchdown so far, number 13 now on the year. And they are able to break the tie and move out in front here in this 4th quarter. Extra point up and through. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there.
You ain't doing nothing today. You ain't doing nothing today.
looking to throw on second down. Matthews. He gets this to Davante Adams. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely look for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
To throw on second down. Matthews. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. Jennings was the one he was looking for. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw, because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. Past the 20. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Tremont Smith, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Taken down. This will be a Brown sack.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you've got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Going deep for Diggs. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 36. And they will finally stop him as he's down to the 40-yard line. Third and long that time. He was trying to make something happen, but a little too risky.
Well, the field tilted on him, and what I mean by that is what you said. Third and long, got to push it downfield to try and pick up the first down. Defensive backs live for this situation, and they took advantage of the young man right there.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 39-yard line.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. The Browns send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. On first down, Matthews. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 35. And a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30. Jennings was the one he was looking for. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. So instead of running, Mayfield's going to throw it here. And Callaway taking it in left side. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Mayfield down. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Antonio Callaway, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Mayfield with it once more. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Fair to say the secondary play, whichever side you're on, hasn't really been a glowing exhibition so far, but a nice job there to prevent a long completion.
I agree with you, but at some point, someone had to make a play and try and stop this exhibition of almost speed rate.
And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. Read it well, and it's picked. And he will bring this all the way up to the 30-yard line. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy, because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. On 1st and 10, Matthews. That's caught by his tight end, Dawson Knox. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining.
1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Heavy on the edges, heavy on the edges.
Operating from the gun, Matthews. He's going to let it fly. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Throwing again. Matthews under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off with in trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the thing